Hi everyone, I'm going to be talking about Winston Ortiz, the 18-year-old who was stabbed and set on fire in the Bronx. Okay, so let's get this started. Winston Ortiz, he was a shy teenager whose family members said he had become depressed in recent days over a breakup with his first girlfriend. So he was excited when he heard from her on Wednesday afternoon, they said, and he left the family's Bronx apartment in high spirits. He never returned. About 3 p.m., Ortiz was stabbed in the chest 1 time and 2 times in the back, dosed with a flammable liquid, and then set on fire while he was still alive in the hallway of a nearby apartment building, the police said. He died hours later at a hospital in Harlem. Okay, so the next day, the police arrested the former girlfriend's brother, Britanzas, 22 years old, on charges of manslaughter and murder. Detectives believe that the two men, they were arguing about Ortiz and his relationship with his 15-year-old sister, the sister of Britanzas. And, he didn't agree about the relationship because of their age. And that's what, caused the situation. So Ortiz, he had received a call from the ex-girlfriend, that she wanted to see him. And that is why he left his apartment building to go meet up with her, which he lived 1 block away. And Britanzas, he was already there in the 5th floor of that building waiting for Ortiz. He was dressed all in black and had a mask on, and he carried a book bag, which he was saw on camera, the cameras around that area. So he had everything planned out. The two, they were arguing in that hallway. So he stabbed Ortiz, in the chest 1 time and in the back 2 times, and then poured the flammable liquid on him and set him on fire. People heard, Ortiz, screaming in the hallway. 2 female witnesses, and they tried to help Ortiz by, throwing water on him, to calm the fire off. And when, police arrived, they saw him, Ortiz, on the floor, and he was able to tell the police officers that it was Britanzas, and, he was able to say a little bit about what happened to him. Not only that, police officers, they were saying that Ortiz, he was praying, and he said, God, please forgive him for what, he did to me. So he was praying. So all this happened in 1045 Woody Crest Avenue near Yankee Stadium. Family and friends, and also his teachers, Ortiz's teachers, they all say that, he was a good student, he was a churchgoer, all he did was go to work, go to church and everything. He was very shy, he kept to himself, and, Britanzas' sister was his, first girlfriend, the first relationship he ever had, and she was the one that broke up with him. And he was sad for a couple of days until she contacted him, supposedly that she wanted to see him and to fix things. But there's different stories on what happened. They say that first Ortiz, Winston Ortiz was the one that broke up with her, but in reality, his family is saying that she was the one that broke up with him, and that he was very sad, and then he got all happy when he heard from her, and that's why he went over there to that building. He lived like 1 block away. He went over there. So, the story is that, all this was a setup, what happened to him. People are saying that Britanzas, forced his sister to call him up and say that she wanted to see him, and that is exactly what happened. So he thought that, his ex-girlfriend wanted to see him, but really this was all a plan made by Bertanzas, you know, to try to get back at him, you know, because Bertanzas and his family didn't agree with Ortiz dating, you know, his 15-year-old sister. Not only that, Bertanzas was saying that, you know, it wasn't him that did this to Winston Ortiz, that he was set up and everything. And not only that, when Bertanzas was in court, you know, Bertanzas, you know, his mother was saying, oh, that Winston Ortiz had raped her 15-year-old daughter and everything, and this is why everything happened. But that's the story on, you know, what happened to Winston. You know, a lot of people, you know, talk very well about him. You know, he was quiet, he kept to himself. He was a churchgoer. He graduated from Metropolitan Lighthouse Charter School in the High Bridge neighborhood of the Bronx, and he planned to attend college. You know, he loved science and everything. A lot of people say good things about him. You know, he loved baseball. He was very close to his family and friends. Not only that, when he was in high school, he suffered from bad reoccurring headaches, and he was, you know, diagnosed with having a brain aneurysm. And after, you know, after he you know, the surgery and everything, the surgery treated that problem he had, and the family was, you know, relieved. They thought that he was be able to live a normal life. But look what happened to him. You know, so his aunt, you know, his aunt and his family, they want his story to be shared because they want justice for Winston Ortiz and what happened to him, because, you know, they felt that he didn't deserve what happened to him. You know, he was a good innocent kid, you know. Not only that, his neighbors said that, you know, they would see him every time in the hallway, and that he always carried a Bible in his hands and everything. And he always had a good spirit and everything. But that's the story about what happened to Winston Ortiz. So thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.